This is like a new me time unlocked. Welcome to Smashburgers, you guys. I think about baby number 2 every single day. Snack. Hello.
What are you?
3 caramel swirl and 2 milk. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about where I'm at. Are you joking?
Oh my god, I'm so nervous.
I'm so nervous. Now I'm gonna get choked up. We made the decision, which is crazy. Oh my gosh. Hello guys. It is Sunday, happy Sunday, and I find myself doing some much needed laundry because we are also finding ourselves in the situation that there is a pile that is on our floor in the bedroom and we can't do anything about it because the hamper is currently held up by clean laundry that we haven't folded yet. Better late than never, you know? Did I mention it was Sunday yet? I have no idea. Oh my gosh. I accidentally laid down during Annie's nap today versus sitting up. Like, I feel like there's a very important distinction between laying down on the couch versus sitting up on the couch. If I'm like sitting up on the couch, it's like a nice relaxing vibe. I'm like doing stuff on my computer or I'm watching a show, but I'm sitting up, I'm alert, maybe I'm eating a snack. Hello? But the second my head hits the pillow of the couch, it's like game over. My eyes start burning with that like tiredness, you know? And I could fall asleep within like 5 minutes. And so now I'm just like, I feel like I'm hungover from that, from just simply laying down on the couch. It actually like sparked a memory and I had to ask Jack, I was like, do you remember when we would just rot? Pre-Annie, we would just rot on the couch on a Sunday? Like, do you remember that? And he was like, no, I literally don't remember that. And I think I also blocked out in my head until I laid down and was like, oh, if only I could do this for all of afternoon Sunday and into the evening until we eat dinner and then we watch more shows. Like, we used to just take Sundays very seriously as like rest days most of the time. And they're still rest days relatively, but our rest days just look so different now. But I remember I used to like get grocery shopping out of the way on Sundays so that I could come home, set up everything for a solid 8-hour rot session, like on the couch. I'd make sure I had my water, my phone, my Kindle if I felt like reading, my computer if I felt like online window shopping. Just everything you needed to not get up for the next 8 hours. Like, I remember that being a thing and I had totally blocked it out. Didn't like how I did this sweatshirt just now, so I have to refold it. Overall, it's a very relaxing Sunday. Jack just took Annie to go to Target actually because it is the season finale of White Lotus tonight and we are going to make a whole thing of it. Oh my gosh, we are so invested in this season. I feel like I'm more invested in this season than other seasons and that did not start out like that at all. I felt like this season was just a very slow burn and then all of a sudden it was just like, okay, we have like 10 different theories of what's going on. TikTok has like 1,000 different theories of what's going on. People are commenting on other people's theories and it's just like so intense and it's gonna be a 90-minute season finale. So we're so excited. We've made plans for it. And by plans, I mean just Jack and I, but making plans to make it special. So they're at Target right now getting some candy for the occasion. One of our favorite YouTubers that we like to watch together is Ryan Trahan, and he came out with his own candy brand. It's called Joyride. And what's special about it is it's candy without all of the added sugar that normal candy has, no artificial dyes, like all of that stuff. And so we've really come to like it. And he has a new flavor out, or a new variety of it. So we're gonna make it special and have like the new variety with our White Lotus season finale. Plus it's just really nice, like during this second shift of parenting throughout the day, to have an outing of sorts. Whenever I have her during the week, I always like to do our outings in the mornings. I love that type of schedule. And then Jack has really been enjoying taking her out somewhere in the afternoon when he has her. And normally on the weekends we just tag team, we go together together everywhere. But I did an everything shower today, and literally afterwards I got in my favorite sweatshirt nightgown. This is from Free People, by the way. I've linked it a few times, but I got it for Christmas like years ago, and I swear it is my most worn item in my closet. It's worn multiple times every single week, and the quality is incredible. But when I put it on, it is a signal that there's no way this girl's leaving the house. Like, this thing slipped on, no way I'm leaving my doors. So yeah, he's off to Target with her to secure the candy bag. And I have to say, I feel like it was only maybe 2 months ago at this point that Jack took her out of the house, like just by themselves without me, just because our days, like, you guys know how our days are kind of structured throughout the week and just how those are structured, and then on the weekends of course we're all together. Like, there's not really an opportunity for Jack to like take her out, just them, especially with how her naps were before she got down to one nap. But the first time he did it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like a new me time unlocked. It felt like a new version of it was like unlocked, because before I would exit the house, like they would stay behind, I would exit the house for some me time, and it was really nice. But it's not the whole like sit at home with my sweatshirt nightgown in my own space without anybody else in silence type of nice, you know, with my own shows, with my own environment, like that type of nice. And I hadn't experienced that until about 2 months ago, and it's incredible. Oh my gosh, just like being able to be in my house with my own thoughts and sharing all of those thoughts with you guys, incredible. I feel like I had something else to say while I was folding laundry here with you guys. Oh, the other way that we're making the White Lotus season finale special. We've thought about our dinner for the said occasion for days now, and this is what we've landed on. We have this Smashburger recipe that we have been obsessed with for about 2 weeks at this point. No, 3 weeks. We've had it like so many times because it's so easy to cook up a Smashburger, and they're so filling that we just end up eating like one burger each. I just can't, I'm not going to get into it too much because I'm going to show you guys our Smashburgers tonight, because that's what we're having as our special dinner. The recipe that we follow is so bomb. It is so good, but the process is relatively fast, and it's like the type of dinner where as soon as a Smashburger comes off the grill, the person is eating it. So we kind of have a production going on in the kitchen, and we eat our dinner right then and there when it's piping hot and not too soggy, you know, from the sauce and all that. So that's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be a vibe, and then we'll be able to sit down and have like our candy, maybe a little bit of popcorn for the season finale. We're so excited. Got him literally playing the White Lotus theme song right now. She's getting so smart. She already is like so smart, but guess what she's doing now?
No, what is she doing now?
I put her down, right?
Yeah.
And I always give like back rubs and stuff. And the last couple of nights, she's asked for a kiss.
Yes.
So I give her a kiss and then she lies down, right?
Okay, yeah.
Tonight, she asked for her kiss. So I give it to her, and then I go to walk out of the room, and she stands up in the crib, and she goes, "Tiss, tiss, tiss." So of course I have to go back and give her another kiss. Then I go back, and we have another kiss. She lays down, and I give her back rubs, and then I go to leave, and I'm out the door, and she stands up. I see her little shadow in her crib, and she stands up, and she goes, "Tiss, tiss." How am I supposed to not give her a kiss? So sad. I just gave her 5 kisses.
Oh.
I know.
Good.
I'm falling for it. I am. What?
Hot stuff. What? Can you give me like another ketchup bottle?
Yes, I can.
Tess.
Tess. Tess. Mwah.
Tess.
Tess.
Tess. Tess. Tess. You see how my wife gets all the ketchup to the bottom of the bottle?
In our Costco haul this week, we got a 3-pack of these monsters. So excited. Welcome to Smashburgers, you guys. Here's what's going on in the operation. First, this is a very important step. It's probably the most crucial step, actually, besides the special sauce.
Yeah, you mucked this up. You're done.
You just need diced onions. They can't be like in the circles or in long strips. It's the diced onions make it feel like a fast food McDonald's burger made at home, which is like exactly what we want. It's just so good. We'll cook these down until what? They're like a little bit brown. Kind of
Yeah, brown, not what's it called?
Not caramelized.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys will see. You guys will see. So those are cooking in the background. Bring me through the sauce.
I got mayonnaise, relish, and ketchup so far.
Do you know how much of each?
So, 1/4 cup of mayo, 2 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of sweet relish, half a teaspoon of vinegar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and then salt, pepper, and garlic powder to taste.
Beautiful. Guys, I forget if we just said mustard, but just note that there's mustard in there as well. How much? Half a teaspoon?
1.5 teaspoons.
1.5
Also,
teaspoons.
correction, only half a teaspoon of sugar.
Okay, so rolling it back.
Okay, we're gonna do that
What is in here?
1/4 cup of mayo.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of ketchup.
Okay.
1.5 teaspoons of yellow mustard.
'Kay.
Has to be the deli mustard.
Deli mustard.
No, that's spicy brown honey mustard.
Dijon. Nothing like
No,
that.
Dijon.
Okay, don't get sidetracked. What else?
And then a tablespoon of sweet relish. Has to be sweet.
Sweet relish.
Half a teaspoon of sugar. Half a teaspoon of vinegar, white wine. Salt, pepper, and garlic powder to taste.
To taste. Okay, that's that sauce. When it's all combined, it's gonna look like that. Okay, we have moved on to the patty stage. And if you have parchment paper, that's like the best, I would say, but this gets the job done if you don't wanna buy parchment paper. We have 2 of these cutting boards and the materials are just very good for smashing burgers and they're not like sticking to them. So definitely a material where the burgers won't stick to because the smashing part is very important. There's just something about a burger that is as thin as you can possibly get it. Like it tastes 10 times better than a thick burger, in my humble opinion. But before you do the burgers, you can just take the onions off and put them to the side and it's gonna go into our assembly station. I will take these to the assembly station.
Roll them into a nice little ball, place on surface or parchment paper.
Or parchment paper.
And literally just
Smash.
smash.
There's
And
really no
you
like...
go beyond to where you think you're going. Perfect size is
Oh.
3 or 4 ounce. I do 3 ounces for mac. I like a 4 ounce patty.
Pulling out the spicy, sweet and spicy pickles.
You pull out the cheese.
The Kraft singles. If you try to get fancy with your cheese, I'm telling you, it won't be as good.
If you get cheddar cheese, like fancy cheese, this is what happens to you. What are you?
I'm not even saying.
What are you?
Okay, I keep saying like this is the most important part. This is all of it's important.
This is actually the most important.
No, the whole entire combination of all of this, the thinness of the patty, the diced up onion specifically, the sauce, like, and the cheese. Like, it's just, all of it is what makes the burger what it is. I'm gonna have one with a bun and then I'm just gonna have a patty. I thought I could do 2 of these, but honestly, after I eat the first one, I'm so full. So I'm gonna toast my 1 bun.
Okay, so that goes down. It's gonna cook so fast. Set a timer for 2 minutes.
On
That's
each
perfect.
side.
And then literally another 2 minutes on the other side, and it's going to be exactly where you want it.
Okay, I'll show you guys what my assembly line looks like. What do? I do sauce. So waiting for the bun to come out, lightly toasted. We're gonna butter it here, and then we have the patty going on the toasted bun. And once I've got everything, we're gonna do sauce, probably 3 pickles, and onion to top. And then I sprinkle a little more sauce on the burger. And then as soon as you flip it, put the cheese on. Now we wait for the burger to come off fresh. The patty is on, and now I start with sauce on the top bun. Spread it around. And I go, actually, I remember I do pickles first, so we're gonna switcheroo. I mean, onions first. I think I just said pickles first. Onions. Don't be shy. Something about a diced onion on a burger. And I like these pickles so much. You get them at Costco. I think they're called Dave's. Yeah, Famous Dave's Sweet and Spicy. 1, 2, 3. And then I drizzle a little more, just a drizzle of sauce for good measure. So by the end, in that order, that's what the burger is looking like. The first delectable bite. The reason why it's like an operation and everything in the kitchen is because you gotta eat it hot. And if you let it sit for too long between the burger and the sauce and everything, it's just gonna get like soggy, you know? Are you joking? Oh my gosh. Cheers. I am shocked how good this is every time we make them. How many times have we made these, bub? Like 3 times now?
Yeah.
The perfect at-home burger. It's hot, flavorful, juicy. Like, All right, Jack's gonna do a double cheeseburger. So, well, this one won't have cheese on it, but some of the other patties will. But he put sauce on his bottom bun, plain burger, and then he tops that plain one with some pickles. He's decided on a little more sauce in between the layers before this burger gets placed. Cheese patty going on top.
So, next, more sauce. Onions go on the sauce. More sauce.
Okay.
Then, half the calories in this burger are sauce.
That's true.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, is it everything?
Such a good burger.
I know. I don't understand how it took us this long to like get such a good burger in our house. It's 9 o'clock, so the episode should be out by now. Jack picked up 2 Ryan candies at the store.
They're Ryan's pick.
They're all Ryan's pick. They all say Ryan's pick.
No, these are Ryan's pick.
This is Joyride. They all have a Ryan's pick at the top. So every time we pick one up, we're like, oh, this is Ryan's pick. He put it on every single one of the candies. This is a classic that we really like. Cherry berry ropes. They're just very good. And then this is a new one. This isn't the new one we thought he was gonna come home with.
But that was like, it's new to our store.
It is. It must be. Like, we've never seen it, and we've gotten all of the Ryan's candy. So this looks like a Sour Patch Kid Ryan's version.
Yeah.
80% less sugar, no junk, amazing taste. That's the whole shindig.
And they're pretty good.
They're very good.
Per serving, 9 grams of fiber. Let's go.
They're really yummy. Shall we watch?
I think we should.
I've been waiting for this literally for a whole week.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
I'm so nervous. Final guess, who's the body?
Mook.
Mook? Wow. I think Lachlan, the younger brother.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's Lachlan. Those are our guesses. Hi there, can I please do a medium iced coffee, 3 caramel swirl, and 2 milk?
Anything else?
And then a cold brew with cold foam, please, a medium.
That'd be all?
Yeah, that'll do it. Thank you. Where do I put you guys? I now have this thing for when I'm filming short form stuff on my phone. You guys used to go right there. Do I go like this? Anyway, it is raining and sloshing, snowing with the rain outside right now. But are you even from New England for real if you still don't get a nice coffee in this weather? Like, I can't imagine getting a hot coffee from Dunkin right now, but I can imagine, no, I was gonna say I can imagine getting a hot coffee anywhere else, like any other place. It's just Dunkin doesn't feel right. But that's not true, because if I was going through Starbucks, I would get like an iced brown sugar right now. But if I was at one of the independent coffee shops around here, I'd probably get a hot latte. See, it depends.
Hello.
Hi.
Your total is $9.37.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good one. That guy ended up being so nice, but it did take me aback a little bit. He was like, not just had a mask, like the mask was like up to his eyeballs, and he had like a cap on. I don't know if you guys could see it on the camera, but kind of freaked me out at first. Pretty good today, and not the best I've had. It'll make me happy. Also, I feel like I cannot get rid of these dark circles. I've been going to bed way too late, so if it looks like I'm tired, I am, but not because of the baby, ironically. When I was editing the last vlog, there was just something about it that I loved so much. I felt like there was this balance of like vlogging and showing a routine of sorts, laundry, whatever it was, but also kind of feeling like I got to chat about things that were either not that serious, but I still clearly had inside thoughts that I needed to get out about them, and then some other things that were kind of more deep. And I loved that because I also love reading comments on anything that you guys can resonate with or what your thoughts on them are. I don't know, I just loved that format, kind of that hybrid model of a vlog. And so I was inspired to ask you guys on Instagram if there were any other topics that you've been wondering about that were on your heart and you're wondering if they're on my heart, anything. Because weaving them into the vlogs, I feel like that's something that I was missing, or I kind of fell off of for a little bit, and I want to get back on it. And one of them that has been very near to my heart is baby number 2. And not in the way I think that people might think, like, oh, she's ready for baby number 2, she's not ready for baby number 2. It is unexpectedly so much more complicated than that. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about where I'm at, because I know I'm not alone with where I'm at, because I've already talked to a few moms in my DMs about feeling the exact same way. So at the beginning of the year, we did a New Year Q&A, and baby number 2 was also a subject on there. And on that Q&A, I got to express that Jack and I, at the beginning of this year, 2025, we made the decision to just have baby number 2 out of our brains. Like, the idea of even going for baby number 2 in the year of 2025 is off the table, so that we can take this full year, more so me, the person that would need to bear said child, take the full year to just enjoy our current family. And that felt so good. And by doing that, by taking it off the table, I felt like that would relieve me of the mental, not load, but just like that question or that thought, or wondering if I'll ever be ready in 2025, etc. And I think about baby number 2 every single day. I thought it would relieve me of thinking about it, and no, it is something that I will probably think about until we're done having kids. Like baby number 2, baby number 3, baby number 4. Is our family complete? Does it feel complete? Can I do it again? And that's not something that I expected, but it does make a ton of sense. Like when you have your first baby and you never planned on just having one, it's always going to be on my mind. Always. And specifically for me, even going for baby number 2 off the table for 2025, the thoughts aren't like, oh, maybe I am ready right now. Oh, let's see what the time frame is if we do go back to clinic. Like, they're not specific thoughts like that. It's more so like if I'm in a situation, like if I'm going to story time and I'm getting Annie out of the car, like a very common intrusive thought for me will be, what would I do if I had a newborn in this situation? What would be the logistics? What would be my game plan? What would I have packed? Like, how can Annie still enjoy this story time if we have a really small baby with us too? Like, what would that look like? So I'm always playing out those scenarios, so that's how it's always in my brain. And then on another note, and this is kind of like a more positive, I would say, like on the more positive side note, I remember thinking for basically the full first year of Annie's life that there is absolutely no way that I could put myself through this again. I had a extremely rough postpartum with postpartum depression, a little sprinkle of postpartum anxiety just for spice, you know? And then just the general transition into motherhood and what that in reality, not just in theory or in wishing and hoping, like in reality, what that looks like for me and what that looks like for a lot of moms. It is an extreme lifestyle change. No matter how much we wanted this baby, no matter how much we fought for this baby, it is always going to be an extreme life change. And I see people talk about how there seems to be 2 camps of people, or 3 depending on how many kids are involved, but a lot of people will say that you either find the transition from 0 to 1 the absolute hardest transition, or 1 child to 2 children as the hardest transition. And oh my gosh, I hope I'm in the 0 to 1, because that was so hard. I can't imagine finding something harder. I can imagine finding something equally as hard, but like, I just feel like I am just in this camp of, oh my gosh, that rocked my entire world. So anyway, going back to the first 12 months, I was so afraid at the concept of a second child. I knew in my bones I was not ready for it. I knew I needed space, a break, but I always felt a little pressure on myself to not like have a certain age gap. I've never been attached to a certain age gap or an idea of it. I think infertility kind of knocked any concept of age gaps out of my brain, if I'm being honest. But Annie is almost 18 months now, a year and a half. And I would say just in the past 1 to 2 months, I see newborn content, or I'll see somebody have like a birth announcement on Instagram or footage of them in the hospital with their newborn, and it's so insane because I hated the hospital. I loved my birth, but then like I look back at the postpartum unit and just that 24 to 48 hours in the hospital as absolute hell, like just absolute delusion, twilight zone. Like I do not look back at that specific time fondly, but all of a sudden in the last 2 months or so, I will see someone having a baby in the hospital or snuggling their newborn in the hospital, and I will get this overwhelming like feeling of, oh, I want that so bad right now. Like what I would do to feel what she's feeling right now. Which is crazy because what I felt during Annie's hospital stay was not good. It was not good, but all of a sudden it's almost like I have this overwhelming, what is it? It's like I have this overwhelming want to go experience that with Annie, and now I'm gonna get choked up, but it's like I want to go experience that time with Annie again as the mom I am right now. Does that make any sense? I want to go experience the things that I found so hard as a first-time fresh mom. The hospital, the newborn nights, like all of it, but with the knowledge and hindsight and clarity that my 18-month postpartum mom brain and mom self has right now. And that brings me to being not as scared about baby number 2 all of a sudden. I think that's kind of how it's translating. But is it getting me to the point of, oh, I want to march right over to our fertility clinic and pick up another one of our embryos immediately? No, it's not that feeling, but I just find myself not dreading or even fearing some of the things that I found myself fearing in the first 12 months of her life. I also think that her becoming like a full-on toddler, I just love it. I love it so much. I feel like there are a lot of women that love that newborn phase. That could never be me. I think I'll enjoy it a lot more the second time for sure, for all of the reasons that I said before, but I have been loving the toddler phase, and that does not mean that it's not met with new challenges. All of the challenges that people talk about with toddlers for sure. For example, today we had a mini to full-blown toddler meltdown, having to wait our turn for the slide that comes out after story time. Like we deal with all of it, you know. I don't want anyone to think that like we don't deal with all of that, and that's why I love it so much. But it's just incredible for me. For me, toddlerhood has just been so magical, so incredible. I just see her growing into herself. I can see the communication flourishing, and it's just so fun. The things she finds funny, like I could go on for an entire vlog about how much I love it. And I think seeing this phase and knowing how much I'm enjoying it and how much context that gives me and perspective, I guess, when I think about another newborn phase, because knowing what's on the other side of it, knowing that I do survive it, and knowing that it's so short, like all of those things, all of those bits of knowledge that I have now that I didn't have before, that's been on my mind a lot. So that's really positive. I'm not scared, but I'm not courageous enough yet to go and get another embryo. not yet. The 2025 plan is still there for sure for us, but yeah, the newborn content right now is absolutely slaying me. But two things I'm asking of you guys. Let me know if you have one child at the moment and you resonated with any of those feelings, and like how old your kid is, and if you're resonating with that, like are you on kind of a similar time frame, like like a wavelength type of vibe? If you've had kids in the past and you found yourself around the 18-month mark feeling similar things, let me know. But then also, if you are a second time or a third time mom and you had a really hard time with postpartum with your first, and you had a positive postpartum experience with your second, I need to hear those stories. I need to hear those experiences. I need to fill my heart and my brain with those, because they just give me so much hope that once we do decide that it's time, I won't have this impending fear that it will absolutely 100% be as hard as it was the first time. I know there's always a possibility of postpartum depression sneaking in again, and there's only so much I can do to kind of prep for it, but just having a little inkling, or like the knowledge of the possibility that it might not be like that, is just really reassuring. But anyways, my friends, I gotta get Jack's coffee into him. Thankfully the cold foam is still on top. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already. My Instagram and my TikTok are linked down below. I've been really enjoying yapping over on TikTok, so make sure to follow me on there if you're on it. I love you all so much, and I will catch you in the next one, my friends. I'll see you later. Bye.